The distress signal came in on a dead frequency. A weak, flickering pulse lost in the void, looping the same desperate message over and over again. This is the ESS Deliverance, emergency code Omega. If anyone hears this, Earth is gone. Do not return, do not. Then static. Captain Elias Carter leaned forward in his chair, staring at the trembling waveforms on the Nomad's console. The ship floated silently on the edge of the Kuiper Belt, far beyond the reach of civilization. "This doesn't make sense," he muttered. His pilot, Nadira Voss, frowned as she studied the data. That ship vanished 20 years ago. Earth was destroyed 5 years later. This signal shouldn't exist. Riker Shaw, their engineer, leaned against the console, arms crossed. Either we just found history's biggest ghost ship, or Earth's destruction was a lie. A heavy silence filled the cockpit. Elias felt it in his gut. This was wrong. Every instinct told him to turn around, to forget they'd ever heard the signal. But they were scavengers, explorers. They had chased stranger things before. Elias exhaled. Set a course. The ESS Deliverance emerged from the darkness like a frozen corpse. The massive warship floated lifeless, its hull scarred with battle damage, its armor fractured, like something had torn through it from the inside. The insignia of the Earth Defense Fleet was barely visible beneath layers of frost and decay. And yet, the distress beacon pulsed. "Scanners show no life signs," Nadira reported. "No power, no atmosphere, but the beacon is still transmitting." "That's impossible," Riker said. "This ship should be dead." Elias felt his stomach tighten. Something about the silence felt unnatural. They boarded the ship. The airlock hissed as it depressurized. The darkness swallowed them whole. Inside, frost covered every surface. Their flashlights flickered across frozen corpses, some floating lifelessly in zero gravity, others still strapped into their seats, their eyes locked in eternal terror. And then they found the message. A cracked screen, still active after all these years, blinking one simple warning. "Do not trust the signal, do not trust Earth, they sold us all." Elias's stomach dropped. Nadira exhaled sharply. "That's disturbing." They moved deeper, past frozen corridors, past walls gouged with deep claw-like marks. Then a file decrypted on a still-active terminal. A video log played. A man in a torn officer's uniform appeared on screen. His face was gaunt, his eyes sunken with fear. "This is Captain Darius Vance of the ESS Deliverance. We intercepted a classified transmission from Earth, and what we found, it's worse than we imagined. Earth was not destroyed. It was sold, traded to an unknown buyer. We don't know why, but they—" A piercing shriek erupted from the speakers. The captain turned in horror. Something pulled him away. Static. Elias felt a chill crawl up his spine. They hadn't just found a distress signal. They had found a cover-up. Then the ship powered on. Lights flared to life, and deep within the walls of the Deliverance, something moved. The comms crackled. Then a voice, inhuman. "You were warned. You should not have come." The Deliverance lurched. Gun turrets swiveled toward the Nomad. "Shit, they've locked onto us!" Nadira shouted. Elias spun toward Riker. "Override it, now!" "I'm trying." Riker's hands flew over the controls. Then through the viewport, beyond the Deliverance, a fleet of massive alien vessels emerged from the void. And in their shadow, Earth. Still there, still alive, but covered in something unnatural. A final file decrypted. A live feed from Earth. The sky was filled with towering alien spires. The oceans were black, the continents changed. And humans were still there. Not as citizens, as livestock. Elias felt his stomach drop. They had found the truth, and someone had killed the Deliverance crew to keep it hidden. Now they were next. "We need to warn the colonies," Nadira said. "Tell them what's really going on." Elias nodded. "We send the message, even if we don't make it out." Riker hacked into the Deliverance's long-range transmitter. "Broadcasting now," he shouted. A new voice erupted over the comms, deep, distorted, filled with rage. "You should not have done that." The ship shook violently. The last thing Elias saw was the signal uploading, spreading the truth to every ship in range. Darkness. The Nomad never returned. But the transmission did. It spread through the outer colonies, whispering one truth. Earth was never destroyed. It was sold. They were coming for the rest of humanity.